This is a video of using algebra and the power rule to find a derivative. The question states, find the derivative of f of x is equal to the quantity 3 minus x to the fourth squared minus 1 over x cubed plus 5 times the square root of x plus x squared divided by the square root of x. So this doesn't necessarily look like powers of x, but we can use algebra to transform this expression into something in terms of just powers of x. So the first step is to FOIL out the 3 minus x to the fourth quantity squared, and I can also write 1 over x cubed as a power, and I can write root x as a power. So I do that, and 3 minus x to the fourth squared, I FOIL that out. 3 squared is 9, and then 3 times negative x to the fourth is negative 3x to the fourth, and I have 2 of those, so I get minus 6x to the fourth. X to the fourth squared, remember we multiply, 4 times 2 is 8, gives us x to the 8th. And then 1 over x cubed, when we have a power of x in the denominator, we can bring it up as a negative exponent. So we get minus x to the negative third. And then let's remember that the square root of x can be written as x to the 1/2 power. And I do that both in this term here, 5 root x is 5x to the 1/2, and x squared over root x is x squared over x to the 1/2. So I can do one last bit of algebra right here on this fraction. I can use the quotient rule that says when I divide exponents, I can subtract. So 2 minus 1/2 is the same as 4 halves minus 1/2, which is 3 halves. So now I have my function written as a sum and difference of a bunch of multiples of powers of x. And now I can take the derivative. So the derivative of 9 is just 0, it's a constant. The derivative of x to the fourth is 4x cubed. The derivative of x to the 8th is 8x to the 7th. Notice that negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So I get negative 3x to the negative 4 for its derivative. And then times 1/2. 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. So it's x to the negative 1/2. And 3 halves minus 1 is 1/2. So I get 3 halves x to the 1/2 power. And now let's clean this up a bit. I can get rid of the 0 and multiply through. And my final answer is negative 24x cubed plus 8x to the 7th plus 3x to the negative 4th plus 5 halves x to the negative 1/2 plus 3 halves x to the 1/2. And I'm done with the problem.